Hi, I'm Dr. Casey Jones, and lately you've heard me talking a lot about breathing. So right now, I think that breathing is so much more important than ever, and it's always been important. But right now with COVID, and I'm not trying to scare you, but studies have shown that the virus that causes COVID-19, the growth and replication can be inhibited by nitric oxide, which we can produce naturally in our sinuses. So if breathing through your nose is your first line of defense, then why not use it? So I've been started on a journey, and I would say that it started with this. I had picked up this book years ago and would recommend it to patients. And I picked it up again because I thought there's good stuff in here. I'm going to start reading it. And then I started reading this. And then I started reading this. And then I started sharing this information, and I had someone say, well, hey, have you read Breath by James Nestor? And I was like, nope, haven't. And then had someone else say it. And usually when people say something, at the same time, basically two different people, and it's the same thing, I think, okay, the universe is talking to me. So I picked it up, I started reading it, and it's fantastic. So it mentions the author of all of these books in there, Patrick Mckeon, who I actually got to be on a Zoom call with today, and I was so excited and so into the call that I didn't even take a picture to prove that I was there. But he's fantastic. I've done his Oxygen Advantage training. But the reason I'm actually talking today is because this information is starting to change my life, and it has changed my life already. So I have done the Oxygen Advantage training. I breathe more functionally, and I can help you figure out how to do that. Breathing through your nose is one of the main things. That's both during the day and at night. There's lots of things that you can control, but it's also led me to this book, The Dental Diet. And the reason that it led me to this is because within this book, as a dentist, I was reading it and I was like, the Homeo Block? What is that? I'd never heard of that appliance. I had never heard of Dr. Belfour. And so I reached out from the reference that was in here, and now I'm doing the training. I have done Zoom training with him directly. I am about to wear and start using the Homeo Block myself. I'm a firm believer in everything that he's talking about. And I can't wait to get to the point where I can share it with others and help change things. So what it is explaining is that we have the ability for our faces to change even when we're adults. And that makes sense because we have muscles that are pulling on the bone. And if other parts of our body can change for better or for worse over time, then why not our faces? So there are things that we can do. This particular appliance is meant to bring back your balance and homeostasis. So if you have one side that didn't develop as much as the other, it has a unilateral bite block. That might sound crazy. It all makes sense to me, and I usually don't share until I get a chance to try it. So I am trying it. I'm going to, and I will keep you posted. But I had someone ask me about mewing today, and I thought, I don't know yet. I did look it up when I read that in this book, but then I didn't really look into it, and I didn't understand what it is. And so from what I can tell, I definitely believe in it because it's really talking about the correct tongue posture, which is having your tongue up to the roof of your mouth on your incisive papilla, which is that little bump right behind your teeth. So the best way to find it is to go say and you can kind of feel it up there. And one of the good things to do anyway is to hum. And so you could use that sound to have your tongue in the right position and then breathe in through your nose and then kind of hum as you exhale. So, and I feel like this video is going to be all over the place because that brings to mind that your breathing can affect your mood. So you can trigger your autonomic nervous system, so parasympathetic nervous system, which is calming. So with the exhale and breathing from the diaphragm rather than up in your chest can relax you, versus when you're constantly breathing from your chest and out of your mouth, you have that fight or flight response and the sympathetic response, which can create anxiety and stress and other things. So learning to breathe properly can help with depression, anxiety, and so many other things. So again, I'm all over the place, but if we go back to the mewing sort of idea, you want to have your tongue up there, is the way that you find it. You want your lips to be together, your teeth lightly touching. I think he refers to it as the butterfly bite, so barely touching. He also talks about the chin tuck. Okay, so you want to have your chin back, and that puts you in the correct posture. So if you think about how much your head weighs, it's like having a bowling ball. And if you would think about holding that bowling ball out the entire day, how heavy would that be? And your arms would get tired. But we do it all the time with that forward head posture that we do. And a lot of that forward head posture is compensation for not being able to breathe properly. So it's all connected and it comes back again all over the place. But it's all connected, and you have your head posture so you can practice kind of tucking your chin back, and you can even bring your arms back. I learned this one from Dr. Belfour. So you have your arms kind of squeezing back. It's great for dentists because we have forward posture so much during the day. And then you can breathe in and out of your nose. And as you breathe out, you can purse your lips. Bring your head back and bring your arms down. A lot of information, so you can go back if you need to. And then swallowing. There is a correct or right way to swallow, and you don't want to be using all of your muscles or your head in order to swallow You want to be just using your tongue. So if you put your tongue on that spot again, kind of scoop up the saliva, put it to that position, and then your tongue sort of arches up and forces the saliva or water to go down, and you're stimulating the roof of your mouth or the palate, which is what gives you that wide arch, and it's especially helpful in kids. But learning to swallow properly, that was not properly, but you want to, maybe I don't have any saliva right now. So that time you can see just how only my throat moved here. It shouldn't have had any of the muscles, but that's also something that I need to work on. And then the final thing that comes into play with what I've learned from the mewing and also from this dental diet, which is great with Dr. Stephen Lin, and then also with breath, is that and others like Jaw, there's so many other books, but it talks about how our diet is affecting so many things, because the Western diet and the modern diet is so soft and so many processed foods that it is changing how our jaws are forming, because we're not doing as much chewing. And if we're not using those muscles, it's not causing the face to form in certain ways, because muscle always wins. So if you're constantly breathing through your mouth instead of your nose, and your mouth is open like this, not only do you sometimes not look very intelligent, but it also is affecting how especially if you're a child, how your face is forming over time, because you no longer have that tongue up to the roof of your mouth and are forming that hopefully wide arch. So you're gonna see more crowded teeth. You're also gonna have more of a dry mouth because your mouth is open and you're breathing through your mouth. And so if you close your mouth, you'll have more saliva, which will help fight cavities and gum disease. And you're gonna be forming a better arch form if you're a child. So if you're a parent, have your child close their mouth and breathe through their nose. Again, this is so much information, but when you finally see it and you finally get it, you just get so excited and you want to share it all. So ask me questions. I'll try to elaborate, clarify, whatever. But most importantly, have a fantastic day, and don't forget to smile and dance. I'm Dr. Casey Jones.